Boys and girls, come on, come on. Yeah. Yo, G. I see y'all coming in. We got back to the gospel. Pretty baby. This girl, listen now. Lucky, Christio, Todd, I see him now. On the Team Gill Show. On the Team Gill Show. Yeah. On the Team Gill Show. 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 I remember. On the Team Gill Show. 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 Remember on the Team Gill Show, on the Team Gill Show. Jesus talking that real shit. What's going on? What's up with it, friend? Alright, it's paperwork money, man. I'm seeing you on my Instagram today. Paperwork for producer, signing like Medusa, getting no credit, no service. Exclusive they on my Instagram, they make us paperwork in subscribe and hit the like button. This content on YouTube, we ain't doing this shit for nothing. Cash out, thank family, test me, tune in, we about to get it. On the Team Gill Show. On the Team Gill Show. Yeah. On the Team Gill Show. On the Team Gill Show. Remember? On the Team Gill Show. On the Team Gill Show. Remember? On the Team Gill Show. 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 Paperwork for producer. Paperwork for producer. We sliding like Medusa. Paperwork for producer. Paperwork for producer. That's what I mean. Paperwork for producer. My boy Team Gill. Paperwork for producer. We sliding like Medusa. Paperwork for producer. Paperwork for producer. That's on that Team Gill Show. Lego. Hey, welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to the Gene Deal Show today. How y'all doing out there, man? Retreat time. What's going on? Let me see who came in this joint, man. All 130 some of y'all. Now, let me put something up that is scandalous. People gonna rush to the chat. Let me put something up scandalous. People will title something scandalous. You got everybody and their mama gonna rush to the chat, but this is gonna be another rest in peace and some information that you may not never heard of before about DJ Kayslay. Me and DJ Kayslay goes back more than, I want to say 30 years, close to 30 years ago, when DJ Kayslay was doing the mixtapes. That's how far we go back. Me, him, and well, what's his name? I forget his. I be forgetting this nigga name, man. I just wrote it in my book too. is not the Mano that y'all know. What's his name? I gotta just roll up because I'm on the Kayslay chapter in my book, and then, man, I've been on that shit for a month. It don't really take me that long to write nothing, but this is crazy that every bit of it has to be in place right, because K is somebody that everybody who was in hip hop, you either hate him or you loved him. He had a lot of haters, but he also had a lot of people that loved him. So what's his cat name? He rest in peace. He's not around us anymore either. I think he was murdered. Um, but I gotta say his name. That's why I should have wrote this down before. But because I do a lot of stuff that's Mingo. Yes, Mingo. Mingo. We was drivers who would do the out of town and the club stuff. Rest in peace to Mingo also. Um, if you don't know, this was the day 3 years ago that Kayslay uh, died. He didn't die of COVID. He had 4 heart attacks after they took him off the medicine for COVID. And on the 5th heart attack, his mother told them, don't revive him. After the 5th heart attack, his mother said, don't revive him. Hey, Mo, what's going on with you, Mama? So now, what I wanted to discuss with y'all is that I had brother, like uncle, like friend, like my dual relationship with Kayslay. Like, he didn't drive, but he had 2 drivers, and both of them was Africans. And then when he moved on the Jersey side of town, it would cost him more money for them to come get him and to maneuver him around. And this wasn't Uber and Lyft and none of that. You either do a taxi, and they was about a minute and all that shit like that. So Kay would always ask me, when he moved on the Jersey side, to drive him, because that was pretty much my residence at the time, since around about off and on from 99. My residence would be New York, but I would probably sleep in Jersey after I had that shootout in 99. Because I wanted to know if a motherfucker was going to follow me, you're going to follow me. If I'm going home and you following me, I'm knowing that you're following me. So he was on this side, and when he came on this side, I used to drive him once I get off of work, if I have shit to do, whatever the situation was here and there. But it was more like family, because he was in a relationship with my little niece. You know what I'm saying? And that was Karima. This was way before all you others. You understand? That picture, y'all, that little girl on his wall, that's Dejana. That's Karima's daughter. You know? So they had split up a long time ago, and they just were, you could say, co-parenting, and Kay didn't want nobody to know anything about Hey, Sarah, I'm doing the show. Can I call you back? All right, man. Puerto Rico is in the dark, huh? I said Puerto Rico is in the dark, huh? what you what you pulled the light plug when you was over there? He said that's not. Yeah, that's Sarah. I told her when you go to Puerto Rico, son play for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. I said, when you was over there, what'd you do? Unplug the light switch. Everybody lights went off. Anyway, so Britt, what's going on with you? So we had a friend, family. We had a crazy relationship, and he used to always stand on being God body, and I think that's the 5%ers. It's a fraction, or it has something to do with the Nation of Islam. I don't really know that, so I can't really speak on it like some other people could and explain it. I really don't know that well. I know uh, Christ and more so a little of some of the Muslim religions and things like that. But uh, I couldn't tell you much about the 5%ers. So when I get through telling this story about me and Kay relationship, then you'll have a better understanding that we used to fight every day, damn near. And I mean, like, because he going to try to tell me being a Christian is wrong. And I know I'm going to stand on my Christianity, the Christ that I know. You understand? I'm going to stand on mine. And he going to stand on his 5%. And if you ask China, if you ask uh, Destiny, you ask Shay, all them girls know me and Kate at that. We would go at it, but the next day, Gene, you gonna come shoot up and take me over here, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards, or whatever. We had a beautiful relationship as friends. You know, he could depend on me. I could depend on him if I needed him or whatever like that. We had no problems like that. Now, Mingo, I spoke about him in my book, and in this chapter it was real difficult for me to write this chapter because this chapter, and I'm still not finished with it because I'm talking about something that you all can understand, and that's your belief in God. You know, you don't believe in man, you believe in God. And Kay has said some things when he had got sick and he had given up on life, as far as I know, on what he said to certain people. That would be Papoose for one of them. Papoose told me that Kay told him, he said, yo, I ain't getting up out of here. I'm not going to leave this hospital. And Pap was trying to convince him, my man, you can't talk like that. You can't feel that way. But that came out of his mouth. I guess that's a little bit of information from Soul Star TVF. That's for the crowd out there. That's one of the most important statements that I think you can make, the power of the tongue. He told Papoose he was not making it out the hospital. Me and Kay took that, the COVID, had hit in 2000, I think, and 20. And everything was shut down for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Like people was doing underground parties and shit like that, party with masks on and all this stuff like that. And it was different. Like nobody was really going nowhere. You had nights with Sue's Rendezvous. How you gonna be a dancer and you gotta wear a mask and stuff like that? It was just crazy during that whole COVID time with the mask thing. But after the COVID had hit, me and Kay went down to Raleigh, North Carolina, because he was doing a event down there for a young lady that probably used to be one of the straight stunner models, and she had got into an ownership or partnership with somebody with a club. So we went down there, and he was doing a party, and this was the first time we had been back since the COVID thing the COVID ban was lifted. Now, during this COVID ban and being lifted, I had never seen Kay be that interactive with anybody doing that whole COVID shit with anybody. I actually stood up on the stands, at the top of the stands, because they had like bleachers in there in this club. And Kay was commingling with everybody around there. And I never seen him act like that. And then, and when I went to say something to him, I said, yo, bro, you around everybody. What's going on? He said, yo, man, I'm just happy these people came out, and I'm just happy to be here. I said, yeah, all right. Went right back up in the stand, and I stood up in the stands. Young ladies all in his face and the whole 9 yards. And I just stood to myself. It was one of the young ladies that Kay used to deal with back in the day. She was there. And she stood two bleachers down where I was at. And we both was talking about, how he was just commingling with everybody. But that was him. He was happy to be out. So we usually just break out and leave. And we stayed a couple of more hours after the time we were supposed to be there. And I got a couple of hours sleep, waited for him. His company left. We got in the car and we came right back to New York. Now that's about a 10-hour drive. I had about an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep. So we stopped at the gas station. And from that point on, I was on Coca-Cola and No-Dos. I'm driving like this, with the window open, because it's not happening. We could have stayed the whole day, but it was one thing about him: no matter where we went, no matter where we may have went, Kay was always say, yo, Jen, you ready? And we do a turnaround. We went to Detroit. He did a show with Ludacris and them. Turnaround. That was 10-hour drive. Now those little 4 or 5 hours from Connecticut, we would do Virginia, we would do Philly, DC. People were paying for us for a hotel for the whole day. Kay was like, as soon as the show over, we hopping in the truck and we leaving. And if we had some girls with us, they'll be freezing in the back. So I start keeping blankets in the car because, or the truck or whatever like that, because we'll have the window down and they be in the back cold. Right, Destiny? The Destiny be like, yo, fuck that, I'm driving. Yeah, to some of the spots. So we came back from Raleigh, North Carolina, and Kay called me and said, yo, Gene, are you okay? And I said, nah, I don't feel okay, man. She said, yo, I'm in the hospital. I got COVID. They said I got COVID. You need to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. They said I had COVID too. So we both was in the hospital. For some reason, I think Kay was mad at me for the fact that I think because he had COVID, but I had nothing to do with that, nigga. I wasn't in. I had nothing to do with that when I had COVID too. We didn't have COVID when we went there, but we both came back with COVID. So I had COVID twice prior to that time and never had the shot or anything. I'm gonna get to this story. So now I guess he, after telling Papoose that he wasn't going to make it out of there, he started planning on not making it out of there. Okay, Monique Mitchell. You gave me Monique, you want me to bless you on your birthday? Hi, Big Gene. Just joined the live. Not to stop you, but would you bless me on Sunday? It's a big birthday for me. Love you. Okay, Monique. Monique want to be blessed on her birthday. Monique, I'm trying to be serious about Kayslay right now. Okay, Mo. I told y'all I got both of the books ready to go. And those people who send in $60 can get both of them signed, sealed, and delivered. to Big Gene 10 or Big Gene 52, whichever one you would like to. And I'll get them out to you before I'm headed back to St. Louis. So now, Kay was at Inglewood Hospital, and they had a bed for him over at Hackensack, but because they didn't have a private bed for him at Holy Name, they decide for him to go to Hackensack. But Hackensack didn't have the treatment and, like Holy Name. To be honest, people were walking out of Holy Name that had COVID. However, they was treating us over in Holy Name Hospital in Teaneck, New Jersey. People were walking out of that. People wasn't making it in Hackensack Hospital, but they had a private room or a room for him over there, so they took him over there. He may have talked to and texted a few people. The last time I spoke to him, it was on the phone, and he was telling me that General, if he need any help with anything, he was gonna let me know. So I was like, cool. So General had gave me a call and told me that Kay said that I would know what everything is at, storages and all this other shit like that, and for him to get in contact with me, if anything. But he gave General, the manager, all the power. So, okay, cool. Now, Kayslay had power in the music industry more than any DJ out there, because his contract was different than any DJ out there. Kayslay could play anything that he wanted to play or from anybody. He was not necessarily had to play the whole program list from the station. There's certain songs he had to play, yes, true. That's like any DJ. But he was able to play whatever he wanted to play as far as music from the streets. He could play his music from the streets, which gave him a lot of power in the streets. Music Recording Network, salute. Appreciate you. So now, they had wanted to change Kayslay contract on numerous occasions, but he wouldn't do it. Because had he changed the contract, he wouldn't have had the power that he had to play anybody music that he wanted to play. So he was actually doing the radio station a misjustice, because there is something, just like with the the Nas and the Jay-Z situation. Kay was pushing Ether. The track was done by a dude from Harlem, Ron Brown. You know, Nas was on the track. But when the radio station was backing Jay-Z on that beef, Kay was backing Nas and Ron Brown them on that beat. So now he could only do that because he had the autonomy to do whatever he wanted to do on the drama hour. That was contractually in there. Corrupt country, I'm doing good. All right. So the radio station, even though Kayslay was a big influence, unless they fire him, he could do practically what he wanted to at the station. They would have to fire him. Look, I called you the other day. I hope everything is well with you, brother. Abigail, the truth. I guess that's right. That's why he could get those young rappers coming up, those street crews, those street cliques, and give them a shine on the drama hour. See, Kayslay was trying to bring back the old style of hip hop. That's why he did the 50 rappers, the 100 rappers, the 200 rappers, all that stuff to give these guys some kind of ideology that this is where rap comes from and real bars, real lyrics. So he was trying to put that back up out there. Abigail, the truth. So now, on April 17th, 2022, after making it off the respirator, the ventilator, they start detoxing Kayslay from those drugs that he had in his system. But Kay had a weak heart. And it was probably because of his earlier drug use that he had in his life. And having that weak heart caused him to have 4 heart attacks that he made. When he went to have that 5th heart attack, like I said before, his mother told them just to let him go. That was her choice. That was her son. Hey, Sabrina Dawkins, I'm doing good. Russ, it was North South rappers, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. If you had bars, K wanted to hear your music. But he loved the fact that dudes who had bars. Now, when Kayslay passed, situations and things had to be made, decisions and stuff like that had to be taken care of. He had told certain things to his manager. His manager eventually told me, but that was K and his communication with him that I didn't have. Certain things came up. You know, you always find out all the bad shit when a motherfucker die. You find what's what, who's who, this, that, and the third. So the manager general had the responsibility of everything. He was already handling Kayslay financial situations. He was already handling Kayslay financial situations. Now he's finna come into the personal stuff. They finna make decisions about the estate, money, property, and him and his mother really didn't know much about anything that what was going on or what not going on, or what was happening, what was not happening. I get the phone call and they was like, yo, Gene, you got to clean up the storage. Not clean up, they asked me, say, yo, Gene, you know anybody that could clean up the storage and take all that stuff out of there? And I really didn't trust nobody, so I did it myself. I took the stuff and I put everything into storage. That's out of the management. He had a t-shirt and a hoodie and a hat clothing line. What I got on now, protect the king, protect the king, protect the queen stuff apparel. Let me see if y'all see that. He got a lot of different stuff. Protect the kings, protect the queens, protect her crown, a lot of stuff. Let me see. That's the hat, some shirts. He got it all different colors. So now I clean out the whole thing, put all the stuff in storage, right? Under my name. So now I get another call. They was taking Kay mother over to the apartment so she could pick out anything that she wanted from that. And she didn't want anything. And she was told that everything gotta go. We gotta get all this stuff out of there. She said she didn't want anything. So the manager gave her all the money that was in the safe. And I told him that he shouldn't have done that. He told me that that was Kay's wishes to give her the money in the safe and the whole 9 yards. I said, I understand, but he had a lot of stuff that he should have taken care of too. It was some jewelry I knew that he had that sometimes Kay will have a couple of drivers, the African dudes, go pawn it, you know, to take care of some bills or whatever for shipping or whatever the situation was. But I knew this particular, one of the particular Africans who got in touch with me, I forgot his name. He said to me that Kay had some jewelry in pawn. I said, yeah. He said that he has to get it out. It's about $10,000 or something like that. So I told the manager, yo, we got to get that jewelry out of pawn shop, because if we don't get it out, he's going to lose it, and you can make more money in selling the jewelry and then give her Kayslay mother more money. So he didn't want to do that. So I went to the pawn shop and I asked them, could I take pictures of it? They said, yeah. It was a white gold chain. It was the box cross. Probably stuff that he never really wore. It was a diamond bracelet. And there was this crown. He didn't want to get that one out. He didn't want to get it out. I was like, bruh, we pay the money, get that shit out, and then you could sell all that stuff. Even the weight of gold, bruh. The weight of gold gonna give you more than $10,000. But he didn't want to do it. So he rushed, gave his mother the money. They got the death certificates and everything, took care of all that stuff. But he still owed people like drivers. He owed the rent on the apartment, a couple of things. So it got to the point where is that everything in the apartment had to go, get out. So the manager told me, yo, Gene, you know anybody? Can you get all this stuff out of here? I said, well, you could donate most of the shit. He said, because I got the people from the guy who's in the museum coming over and picking out some clothes. I'm gonna give him one of the chains. I said, give him one of the chains. He said, yeah, I'm gonna give him one of the chains because Kay had 3 crowns. The first one he ever had was this one. This is his first one that he ever had. When the manager got jammed up for money and he had to pay certain things, I gave him the money and he gave me that. He sold that to me for him to pay the bills that was left over that Kayslay had in his name. Along with the 2 mix show DJ rings. This one, white one, is stainless steel. This was 2002. No, 2003. He won the mixtape DJ award. And this says 2000. This is in 2000. He won the mixtape DJ award. Now this is gold, real gold. Had it already checked. So I'm donating shit, giving shit away. Got to get everything out this apartment because it's not. He gonna have to owe for another month, and the manager wasn't trying to pay it. So we get everything out of there. Pay for a moving company to come move the stuff there. I did. Pay for stuff to go in the storage. I did. Nobody came and said, what could I do? What do you need? All those pictures, all that music, anything that was not over in the storage thing, anything that was in the house, I boxed that shit up, put that shit in storage, but it was just too much. I had to leave a lot of things. Kay had a California king bed. The management company, the janitors swore they couldn't take it down. Nothing they could do. The dude was going to pay him to take it down because he was going to have somebody buy it. I came back the next day, the day before the last day, when they said that the dude told them they ain't want it, forget it. They took that shit out and that shit was gone. I just want to say, still today, K been gone 3 years. I got all his glasses that he wore. Most of the clothes, a lot of the clothes have been given away. Ain't nothing I could do with them. They not my size. Even though he had big jackets and stuff like that, I wouldn't wear them. They not my size. I given a lot of stuff away. A year ago, when I was thinking about selling these pieces, shit don't mean nothing to me. And what I mean, it don't mean nothing to me. I got memories. I got us traveling up and down the road, laughing, joking, having fun, arguing. You know, I got memories. When people try to tell me what to do, I don't listen to what nobody tell me. It's none of their damn business. Keep it, give it to, we gave shit to the museum. Gave shit to people. You know, Kay had all them fucking glasses, Versace, the fucking, what you call that shit? Gazelles. Every last one of his frames I have. Been having for 3 years. Bruh. I could move on. That was my nigga. When the twins had a problem, ask Hood. He came and got me and Hood. We went up to the Bronx to straighten that shit out. That was my nigga. I know more stories about niggas in the industry and shit that was going on than I should know. Cause that was my nigga. It's 3 years. We both had COVID. My God told me I'm going home. I'm gonna be all right. He told Pap, I ain't gonna make it out the hospital. So one of the listeners, the person came on early. I forgot her name. She said the power is in the tongue. The power is in the belief that God Almighty, be it you call him your Jehoshaphat, be it that you call him Yahweh, be if you call him Jesus, be if you call him Christ Jehovah. The power is in the grace of God and what you believe. So when all you naysayers tell me what I should do, it's this verse in the Bible when one of God's faithful servant began to question him. And the Spirit said, where were you at when I made the water part from the land? Where were you at when I separated the night from the darkness, the darkness of night from the lights of day? Where were you at where were you at when we traveled thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles for the last 30 years? Where were you at when we sat at the table at Mr. Child's or his favorite restaurant, Mr. Child's, or we went to his favorite Jamaican place on 135th Street to eat and get food? Where were you at when we was at the Golden Lady? Where was you at when we was at Sue's Rendezvous? Where was you at when we was doing boat rides, we was doing block parties, when we was giving shit back to the community? Where was you at? That's why you can't tell me what to do when I'm ready to move on. You can't tell me what I should keep, what I should give away. Because ain't nobody but me still paying a storage bill, still looking at stuff that I need room for. Sometimes you have to let certain things go. But it's some things that's in your heart that'll never go nowhere. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace.